What's up, guys? Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for your support. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great. Also, subscribe to the Tobin and Leroy show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We had Omar Kelly on yesterday, our guy Omar from the Miami Herald, and I asked Omar Kelly, I said, hey, man, I asked him in the interview, we're not getting Ikenberg back, right? Like, that's not going to happen. And, today was going down to Dolphins land. It was kind of a, it was a ho-hum day. It was kind of an odd day. The Dolphins and Raiders kind of traded running backs. Raheem Mostert goes to the Raiders, and the Dolphins pick up Alexander Mattison, who's, a little bit beefier of a running back, and we'll see what he brings to the table, kind of just to add some depth there to that running back room. He was their leading rusher last year, although it was only with like 420 yards. So they had that swap, and then Anthony Walker ends up going to the Bucks, and the Dolphins get KJ Britt to add a little bit of depth. So not too flashy, not too splashy, and they introduced a lot of their guys today. You had Westbrook Akina get introduced today. You had Daniels, and a lot of their new signings went out, and they did the whole, hey, Dolphins, what's up, man? So that was kind of cool. But from the standpoint, I haven't had too much of a beef with what the Miami Dolphins have done in this opening frame of camp until I got today's news. And that was that the Miami Dolphins have re-signed Liam Eichenberg. And anybody who knows me knows, not a fan. Not a fan. As many Dolphin fans aren't. But I feel like this is a guy who has drawn my ire for a long time. And I was really hopeful that the Miami Dolphins and their offensive line woes were going to get a big addition by subtraction by not having him there. And dude, nothing against him. I don't know him personally. Everybody says a wonderful individual. All right, I'm sure that's the case. But that don't mean that I want him blocking for Tua or blocking for the running backs. And I really don't get it. I know that. So my only answer to this has to be that the Miami Dolphins, I haven't even seen numbers on it, but I imagine they're not very high because I feel like they would have been out there if they were, because agents like to brag about stuff like that. And I also imagine that from his standpoint, he thought that he started off the year good, then he got a shoulder thing to bang up. So maybe he feels like another year with the Dolphins, solidifying himself, that he'll get a chance. It is a little bit weird because we may go into another year where then he's got to move. Let's just say he starts. I imagine Daniels is going to get the right guard spot because that's what he played last year, though I don't know that. We can't know that. Maybe Mike McDaniel has another plan in mind and he wants to keep Ikenberg where he was at right guard, and maybe the Dolphins are trying to open up their options for the draft. And I do think that from their standpoint, they've gone to this draft and they've other than defensive line, which I don't know what they're doing there. I think they're just hoping and praying that Calais Campbell comes. And I guess with corner, my only guess right now is that they're going to believe in Cam Smith or Storm Duck, because those are the positions they haven't really addressed. I mean, there'll be other things, I guess, that shake loose for them, but the Miami Dolphins have definitely gone with a fiscally responsible offseason. They haven't restructured Tua's contract, and so I have to imagine that I gotta imagine that there had to be a little bit of Stephen Ross. There had to have been, where he looked at Chris Greer. He's like, dude, I've let you take the home run cuts before. You decided we're going to invest in Tua as our quarterback, but I'm not going to do the thing where I let you restructure him because I'm not sure. And I think for the Dolphins standpoint, here's the real truth of it. They can't do that where, they lock up their cap more. They just can't. He's too much of a liability with injuries. He is. Not as a player, just as an injury. And so you need to be able to know that you have that flexibility as much as it is possible. And I got to think that is mandated from the top down to not open up more stuff. And I just don't think it's been that sexy of a free agency. The most sexy moves have really been big trades and then that backup quarterback got that. I know the Bears and the Vikings and everybody who doesn't have to pay a QB, they all got to make their splashes because they don't have a QB to pay. But for the most part, things have been kind of meh. They haven't overwhelmed as of yet. But dude, getting back to the task at hand, because I'm getting a little all over the place here. When I got that notification, I was at my son's flag football practice, and he was just about to start, and I was like, bloop. Liam Eichenberg returns. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. I really am not trying to be a dick about this, okay? But he's not good. And he has gotten to try basically every position on the line. Sometimes he's been the good soldier and he moved into center because they needed a center. Okay, great job, young chap. But the only reason they were moving him all over the place is because he wasn't good at any positions to start with where you're just like, he's lucky. He didn't do Austin Jackson. Say what you want, Austin Jackson had to go through his own ups and downs and whatever durability issues he's had, but Austin Jackson found a home. Aaron Brewer, they knew to go to him. They figured out the Connor Williams thing when his knee was working. This guy, they just was like, all right, what are we going to do? We got another year of Ikenberg's contract? Just figure it out, dude. It's not that much money. He can start. He's got experience. He knows the offense. Sure, he's going to fall flat on his face, and maybe he takes out a teammate. But, just roll him out there. And they've had to do this whole song and dance his entire existence to be like, you guys don't get it. Ikenberg's not that bad. It's like, but he is, dude. He is. And I know this is a position that is very valued and hard to come by people. And so getting a guy that it's like a little bit of the devil more than the devil you don't. But even when I was talking to Omar about this, he's like, I think, the guy just might need a fresh start. He's like, he put examples of the guys on the Commanders like Michael Dieter and Noah Benogany. Guys just got a fresh start and they did better. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. But I also think the thing with him is he's going to have to almost be, and I don't know how much he's on social media or what reaction he sees. Doesn't exactly seem like an Instagram model to me. I don't see him on social media left and right. But I gotta imagine from his standpoint that it's like, yeah, maybe I do. And maybe there were no offers out there. I don't know. I'm confused by some things in all this because those are the things that we always just don't know. We don't know what was out there for folks, right? And then there's a lot of BS that's out there, like the whole Javon Holland thing where it was like, oh, Javon Holland, he's, he turned down $6 more million and he had to come out and be like, no, I didn't turn down that much money. The thing that's really confused me, though, I got to be honest with you, is seeing these backup quarterbacks and the money that they're really going for, other than like Mariota, who got a pretty big bag. I don't understand how Zach Wilson got so much money, dude. I really don't. That's confusing to me. And credit to his representation or whoever drummed up that buzz for him, because I am like, he got that, and like, how much did Mac Jones get? And look, I'm no Mac Jones fan, but Mac Jones has got more experience than this guy, or is as good experience as this guy. Yeah, he doesn't have like the rocket arm, but also he suffered, first of all, you're in Jacksonville. It's a clown show over there. They care more about, wrestling than they do the football team. And then you had the whole mess of New England where, look, we gave Tua the benefit of the doubt when he had to deal with chaos and bullying from Brian Flores. Mac Jones had to deal with a lot of that. He had Matt Patricia as his offensive coordinator. And the guy did start off and had a rookie Pro Bowl year, whatever you want to value into the Pro Bowl. And I'm just like, this isn't saying that I'd rather have Mac Jones, even though I did say that on the radio show today. But it's to me being like, why does Mac Jones get basically half of what of Zach Wilson did annually? I know he signed a 2-year deal and he went to a place where they kind of wanted him in the draft. But the Zach Wilson thing, I'm just like, man, that dude's agent's on fire, dude. Like, that's crazy. He really must have had some kind of a market, because I don't get it. I'm confused. That one confused me, but not as much as the Ikenberg thing. I can't explain that. I have no answer for it. I don't really want to have an answer for it. It's if he's starting on the line next, if he ends up starting, dude, I will say this: it better be for depth, and that's all I can say. It better be like, oh my God, break glass in case of emergency. They did just sign a guy who's off an Achilles, so like at worst comes to worst, like we got that guy that you want. Like, let's just say James Daniels, crazy concept, doesn't rehab from Achilles as quick. Well, then the Dolphins could basically plug in their right guard from last year. The thing is, though, dude, he's not good. They couldn't find anybody else. Not even rookies. Makes me very nervous. It does. I can't spin it any other way. It makes me very nervous, and I don't like it. And quite frankly, I don't like it.